Welcome back. I'm George, and here as always, excited to be with you. So, welcome, subscribe, share us with your friends, all that stuff we always start with, and of course you can always get in touch with me. Now we're here to do the review on a still that I promised in another series of videos. And just to be my disclaimer up front and be fully transparent, yes, this was sent to me and I was asked if I would do a review on it, and the only thing I offered them, I said I will be perfectly honest and straightforward, and I would do the review as if I was working on my own piece of equipment. Okay, so here it comes. Now this is a 20-liter model. They make a 30, they make a 50. This is a Speakeasy 20-liter whiskey, vodka, water distiller, stainless steel, 2-inch column. And this one is a dual purpose. This is either a pot still or a reflux still. And it's rather interesting, although when you look at it, it's not uncommon to some of the other stills that you may see on the market. There are some very close similarities, but there are some specific differences that you need to be aware of. Now, in every case, everything I explained about this isn't perfect, but doggone if it's not an improvement on some of the other ones that I've done. So let me show you what we've got here. And I've left this halfway so I can see through and talk to you, and at the same time I got to show you something. First of all, the kettle itself is very well built. Every one of these welds on all these pieces, because this is the column, 2-inch column, and that's separated here by a tri-clamp. You've got a deflagmator. This is all stainless steel, high-grade welds, 304 stainless steel. You've got 2 elbows. This elbow has a port for your thermometer so you can track the head temperature. There's also a port in the top of the kettle so you can track the kettle head temperature. Now, remember, we've talked about that before, about that would be like driving your car and you want to go 55 miles an hour and you want to track it with the tachometer. Tachometer tells you how fast the engine's going, doesn't tell you how fast the car's going. You want to use the speedometer. The speedometer will tell you how fast the car's going, okay? That's my analogy. So this is the critical temperature here. This one is just a good indicator. Okay, it comes with all these barbs and all these connections. I wanted to show you this. These are very interesting because these are the needle valves in order to control your water flow. And they're spring loaded, so there's no more need for clamps. You just slide that in and it's there. It's almost like those shark bites you can get in the plumbing supplies of your local hardware store. And then when you want to remove it, all you do is depress that little blue collar and it releases. So these are really unique, and I'm gonna put that back on there because it's that easy. Okay, this thing, the kettle itself, as we started with a 20-liter kettle, and it's got a spout, has no port for a heater element. The 30 and the 50-liter model do. So I'd like to see one on here, but there's not one there, and I guess that's kind of okay. The bottom of the pot itself is magnetic though. So the benefit of that is that it works on a magnetic induction cooker. So my New Wave Pick Titanium cooktop will and does, because we, check this out. Let me get out of the way. Yeah, there we go. We ran this as a pot still, and it ran extremely well. We also ran it as a reflux, and we got the results that we anticipated. So it runs extremely well, so there's no problem with that. The high-grade connections and everything, there's no chances of a leak. Well, there's always a chance, but really it's idiot-proof when it comes to that. Okay? Now this bottom portion here, this magnetic portion, is like 1/4 of an inch thick of magnetic steel. It serves 2 purposes. One, it makes it capable of going on a magnetic induction cooker, which is just a perfect size for it. And number 2, if you happen to use it on flame or use it on your stovetop, it acts as a diffuser plate. You follow me? A diffuser plate, because if you've got one of those thin ones and you put that on flame, everywhere that flame hits or touches that kettle, the bottom is going to be a super hot spot. Okay, and that's where you get your really serious chances of scorching. So my recommendation is, if you're going to do something like that with a kettle that's really, really thin, is lay you a piece of steel on top of that, or aluminum, and use that as a diffuser plate so that you can diffuse that heat from those really, really hot spots and make it equal and even. So this one does both at the same time. What a benefit. That's a big plus. All right, the condenser. This is a condenser, and that goes right here. Now, your condenser has 7 tubes in it, which makes it a super high efficient condenser, because this entire 2-inch column is now a jacket. And you've got water in, water out. And the way this hooks up is, of course, with a tri-clamp right there. And I'm going to hold that, because here's your water in from your metered source. Here's the water out. Okay. Put that on lightly. Okay, so the water comes out, and the same thing, if you use the metered valve and you meter the water into your deflagmator, you use it as a reflux. That keeps falling out on me for some reason. I just wanted to put it on there a little bit so I didn't have a hard time there. Hard time getting it off. So if you use your meter valve and you meter the water through your deflagmator, it comes right out here, it goes into the T-valve, and then it goes out to your waste, or back into your bucket, whatever you're using. And the same thing here, goes in the bottom and comes out the top, just like all condensers should be. So that makes it really, really easy, really simple to use. And then on the very bottom of your condenser goes this apparatus. This is just an attachment. This attachment is used so that you can have your spirits that come out of here, and this is nearly nothing more than a vent, so that you don't have any backup, just like you would in a Parrot. You've got to have a vent so that you don't have any backup. That's because that this tube is as small as it is. Okay, and last but not least, they include a universal adapter that goes into your faucet if you want to use the water right out of your faucet, because you can turn that on full bore and use the metering valves to meter it, or you could hook it to a water pump, pump it right out of a bucket of ice water out of a bucket. Everything comes complete. This thing is $449. Now, I will put all the information in the description block below. So it's $449, and if you use a promo code, and I'll put that in the box as well, Speakeasy 10, use promo code Speakeasy10, you get a 10% discount, which is kind of cool, okay? So you're going to drop $49 off of that, or $44 and something. So you're still at just about $400. And I think it's just, maybe it's just me, but I would feel more comfortable if that was just a little bit lower. I can see 380, 375, but I'm okay with that. Alex, who's supporting all of this, will donate $25 from every purchase to a warrior project that supports our veterans, which I think is pretty cool, and I appreciate that. I think it's an honorable thing to do. It's a California-based company. Now, of course, you got the Speakeasy 10 for your discount, free shipping. Okay. Bottom line, this is a great still for someone who is really, really experienced and wants to move up from something smaller and has some experience with it. It doesn't come with instructions, which I find odd. It should have some more literature and some instructions. I think the assumption is that you already know what you're doing, but that's not true in all cases. So I would offer that I think it should come with instructions of some sort. Now, I also have one other enhancement that I think would be really, really beneficial to enhance the capability of what you already have, and that's this small screen. Now, this screen is nothing more than it's a screen with inside of a gasket. So you just replace this gasket with this gasket that has a screen right here, and what that offers you is an opportunity to place things in the column, because some of our distillers are really, really good at that. And they might want to put botanicals, they might want to add some ration, they might want to, you never know. I mean, there are some great ideas out there and processes that work extremely well. But as it stands right now, this is an open column and there's no way to do that. So, could have easily done a whole lot better by adding that. So, where does that bring us? Or where does that leave us? That leaves us with, and I've already got this, I've got 4 stars. Very easily, a 4-star rating. Now, we could have done better. Now, let's talk. We've already talked about price. We've talked about availability. We talked about its components, and I mean, all that's good. Well, the lack of instructions or some means of a pictorial guidance on assembly and things like that. Maybe a heater element, even in the small one, and of course the screen. We're only going to give it 4.5 stars. So there you go. Is it worth the money? It's valuable. Does it work? Yes. Is it compatible with what you're doing? Yes. Is it dual purpose? Yes. All of those. That's our review. Happy distilling.